Academy of Art University's Urban Nights update is next. Coming up, evidence of the Butte County fires making its way to the East Coast.
Kevin Durant gets slapped by the NBA for getting into it with a fan.
A nationwide warning about romaine lettuce. And a nutritionist explains how to survive Thanksgiving and all the leftovers. All that and more coming up on Urban Nights Update.
Hi there, thanks for joining us on Academy of Art University's Urban Nights Update. Brennan Otero sitting in with me. I'm Mark Ackerman, and here's what we're working on. Another setback for the Trump administration is federal court San Francisco put a temporary ban on President Donald Trump's new asylum ban, calling it a violation of existing law that could cause serious harm to immigrants. Earlier this month, President Trump pronounced anyone who crossed the U.S. southern border without an official port of entry would be ineligible for asylum, which violates the Immigration and Nationality Act. The ruling from the U.S. District Judge said that the president does not have the authority to rewrite the immigration laws to impose a condition that Congress has expressly forbidden.
What goes around comes around, and this even applies to the President of the United States. A big part of Trump's campaign was bashing Hillary Clinton over her use of personal emails for government business, and now it has come to light that Ivanka Trump is under fire for exactly the same thing. Allegedly, Ivanka Trump sent hundreds of emails to White House aides and cabinet officials using her personal account, which is a violation of federal records rules. President Trump quickly retorts that this is nothing like the Hillary situation, and all emails are in presidential records.
As you may know, a lot of different parts of California are being torched with devastating fires. The smoke is clearly visible all throughout the state, but not just in California. New Yorkers woke up on Monday and they could see the hazy skies from almost 3,000 miles away from Butte County, giving the East Coast a little taste of what Californians are experiencing. The Camp Fire has burned more than 150,000 acres and is 70% contained. In an area that has been destroyed by the Camp Fire, the situation is only getting worse. Low-lying areas in Butte County have received a flash flood warning due to a cluster of approaching storms. The storms are supposed to produce the most rainfall since April 7th, where there was 5.7 inches of rain. This not only complicates the search and rescue effort, it makes it more difficult to identify the remains of those passed, and it threatens the survivors who are camping outside until they can find other places to shelter.
In Butte County, a newborn baby and her mother were affected by these ongoing fires. After a high-risk pregnancy and the baby being born healthy, they had to move quickly. The fires reached the hospital and they had to evacuate everyone inside. With the hospital staff moving out, the mother and her newborn were lucky to get away as the fire built around the hospital. The Bachelor Mansion succumbed to the Woolsey fire, but survived because of a teenage girl. A 16-year-old girl named Ava Friedman saved the Bachelor Mansion when she and her father went to check on their own home and saw that a fire had started at the estate next door. Bachelor producers have confirmed that production offices on the property burned down, as well as the whole back house. However, the majority of the property remains.
Bay Area home sellers are cutting their asking prices at the highest it's been in years. The large jump in price cuts is another sign that year upon year of increases, prices are leveling off. While Bay Area prices are going up on a yearly basis, days on the market are lagging indicators due to it taking a month or even sometimes longer for deals to close. Since the last October, the numbers of homes in San Francisco with the price cut have doubled, according to Realtor.com. Cable cars are a San Francisco staple and the last of its kind. Gonzo Rios finds out why people still use them, even though there are never and more efficient ways of traveling around the city.
San Francisco, an iconic city with many landmarks, from the Golden Gate Bridge to Mission Dolores, even to Fisherman's Wharf. There are so many to choose from, but the one iconic thing that keeps people coming to San Francisco is the cable cars. The cable car is the last manually operated car system in the world, which makes you wonder, why do people still ride the cable cars, and what's it like operating it? Tyrone Smith gives us a better understanding on what it's like working with the cable cars.
Training is, I believe it's 7 days now because they changed it. It's a 7-day process with the trainers on the training car. If you make it through that process, then you go through what we call line training, which is about 21 days with other operators. They put you through all the different paces of learning how to do different maneuvers you need to do on the car.
Although there aren't many cable cars, it's still amazing to see how many people come from all around the world to ride these cable cars. Back in the 1940s, there were over 600 cable cars, and now there are only 40 left, as well as 23 lines that were first established. There are only 3 left in the city. Here's one of the tourists sharing her experience with the cable cars.
Hello, nice to meet you everyone. My name is Simone, I'm from Brazil. So the reason that I think this cable car is important to San Francisco, it's because I think it's the face of the town. So every time I come to San Francisco, I remember of these cars and the story that is behind the city itself. So I think that everyone should ride at least once in a lifetime.
Although these cable cars aren't being used as much as they were back in the day, they still are creating great memories for many people all around the world. In San Francisco, Gonzo Rios with Urban Nights Update.
A single ride on a cable car costs around $7. Full-day passes with unlimited rides can also be bought for a higher fee.
There's one thing we can all agree on. We all hate standing in lines at the airport. But bad checks are supposed to be reduced by a third, according to TSA. Because instead of you pushing your things through, they have new conveyor belts that do it for you. And any bags that need further checking, the conveyor belt automatically takes it somewhere else to avoid holding up the lines. Even with you, still need to remove your shoes, belts, and computers. They are making bigger bins to put your things in. You just can't cover any technology. TSA also suggests that you still arrive early because even with the time reduced, there's no way of knowing how much time it will actually take. Continuing with this theme of security, Andy J. Choi is here to discuss it further on the roundtable. Andy?
Thank you, guys. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and I welcome you to this week's portion of the roundtable. Today we have Cole Morgan and Raquel Herrera, and today's topic is going to be about freedom versus security and whether we should be required to have bags checked at a local restaurant just like they do in airport or a mass event. Cole, what do you think about that? Would you be willing to give up your freedom for security?
I mean, in this day and age, you never know. I would say that there is a line drawn between what can and cannot be happened. Like, I mean, checking a bag is fine, but they only normally check the girls' bags. Like, the guys, I mean,
you're gonna get pat down.
Yeah, we get pat down, that's about it. So I'm just like,
I feel like it's unrealistic because realistically, you know, the shooting that sadly happened, 2 weeks ago, you know, it happened outside of the bar. You know, it's kind of like, you know, old days, you know, gang, you know, drive-bys. You can't stop those, you know, going into the bar. Maybe I will be willing to, like, you know, have someone check my bag before going into a bar to avoid something happening inside the bar, but outside, you
also,
really
but
can't.
at the end of the day, you're going into a bar, regardless of them having a weapon, a knife, like whatever it is, there's always going to be that drunk guy that just tries to pick a fight, tries to do something stupid that, I mean, nothing can prevent that. So it's like, I mean, how much are they actually changing just by checking people's bags?
I think, well, I mean, it's unfortunate that it happened at a bar and maybe alcohol was involved, but maybe I was thinking about just regular restaurant where there is just, you know, there's maybe a family gathering kind of thing, maybe Denny's or like a IHOP kind of places. Like, I personally think whatever it is necessary to have, you know, to prevent these mass shootings or something like this needs to happen, but at the same time to check everybody's bag or go through a metal detector.
But also, like, I mean, with coming that, especially restaurants are so acceptable to being shot up or this because there's no security. At least, I mean, to a point at a bar, you get checked. Some security guards will give the guys a pat down, yada, yada, yada. But, like, who's paying for that? Like, you want a security guard at every single restaurant in the world? Like Taco Bell, McDonald's. Like, how many McDonald's are there in the world?
Yeah, I think before we even go into restaurants, I feel like we should go maybe towards BART. You know, BART has all these problems. Maybe they should have some pat downs and check the bags because that feels like more of a problem than anything else.
Yeah, I would go with Rocky. Like, start with like the main places because you're not going to exactly just stop it all at once at the restaurants. And you know that certain people, they're going to go towards the big areas to make the big scenes. They're not going to go to McDonald's at 10 o'clock at night. They're going to go to Union Square, and they're going to try to do the stupidest thing in front of the most people to get the most attention.
And then how far are they going to take it from there? Are they going to start going to grocery stores, to the doctor? Like, realistically, I'm so sad to say this, but it's going to happen. There's going to be those people out there that have no self-control and will just do it at any time, any moment, anywhere. So that's why I said maybe BART would be better, because a lot of incidences on BART is inside of BART on the train. So
The thing that I want to add is like places like public transportation, there's a lot of commuting in the morning and when you get off work and stuff like that. Do you think people will be okay with that kind of stuff, especially when you have to take time, you would have to leave earlier to get security checked?
Well, I would say at that point, if you're going to do it in the time of the night, the busiest times, you got to do it where it's like efficient. Like, you got to get it in and out, because then people are just going to start getting pissed off and they're going to find ways around it.
Okay. I think the overall thing, it's just a tragedy that all this happened, and hopefully we will be able to figure it out. But unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Back to you guys.
Thanks for that lively discussion. As we head into the holiday weekend, for some people the big event isn't on Thanksgiving, but rather the day after, which is known to many as Black Friday, the official kickoff to the holiday shopping season. Every year, more than 100 million Americans hit up many stores who offer special or lower prices on goods such as toys and appliances. Unfortunately, the shopping mania can proceed into violence, with shoppers arguing over discounted items and lines. If you plan on going Black Friday shopping, be safe and get there early to avoid the long lines. A national health warning coming out from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Stay away from romaine lettuce. No exceptions. The announcement was released this Thanksgiving week with warnings that romaine lettuce contains E. coli on it and no one should eat it. At least 32 people in 11 states have gotten sick after consuming it. Symptoms include severe stomach cramps, bloody diarrhea, and vomiting. According to the CDC, it cannot ensure that any romaine is safe and is recommending that it not be eaten at all.
If you're looking for something that's not going to get you sick, on this episode of Vic's Healthy Lifestyle, Vic is going to show you how to create a delicious and healthy snack known as an acai bowl.
Hello everyone, again, my name is Victor Rita Carranza. Welcome to Vic's Healthy Lifestyle Show. In this episode, we're gonna make this amazing acai bowl. Let's do it! Alright everyone, thanks again for watching our second episode of Vic's Healthy Lifestyle. I hope you guys enjoyed this amazing acai bowl, okay? And next week we're gonna be making a green bowl. Yes, a green bowl. We're gonna use some veggies this time, alright? We're gonna add some kale, some spinaches, some bananas, alright? It's gonna be creamy, it's gonna be delicious, but most important, healthy, okay? So make sure you guys tune in next week. See you guys soon.
We know that most of us will be settling down to a Thanksgiving feast this week and may be sorry about all we ate afterward. Tamara Jaber talks with a nutrition coach about surviving the holidays and all those goodies.
Now, we all know what we should be eating and drinking over Thanksgiving and the holidays, but how do we know when to indulge but still beat the battle of the bold? Well, I have as a guest Laura, nutrition coach, and she's going to give us some tricks and tips in how we get through the holiday and Thanksgiving without blowing out. How are you, Laura?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So, why is it so difficult to stay on track?
Well, I think it's so difficult because the holiday season is a big chunk of time. It's a huge period out of the year. And it's so easy to get swept up in parties, in drinks, in overindulging, not just on one meal on one day, depending on what you're celebrating, but throughout the whole festive season. And it really piles on the pounds.
I mean, for me, it's really about, do I just kind of enjoy myself and think, oh, it doesn't matter, it's only, a small amount of the year, but then I'm always really worried about, the long term. We don't just have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, it's a holiday season. So what can we do, in the Thanksgiving meal? What are the best things to choose? What are the best things to avoid?
Well, what I tell my clients for Thanksgiving meal is to eat the things they really, really love. Not to eat absolutely everything, because if you eat everything on offer, you really are piling and piling those calories onto your plate, and often eating just for the sake of it. So if you love the appetizers, for example, go wild, have your appetizers, but maybe pull back on the desserts and maybe the wine or the eggnog or whatever it may be. So just eat what you love, but in moderation. There's no need to stuff yourself.
Well, we can say that, but what we do in reality is a different thing. So one Thanksgiving meal, like how many calories are we talking for that one meal?
So the meal itself, excluding dessert, appetizers, and alcohol, around 3,000 calories, roughly.
That is,
I know.
Yeah, that's a lot. So am I meant to skip breakfast, skip lunch, and just think, okay, I'm going to blow out in my calories, or am I meant to still, eat moderately? How do I manage that?
I'd say eat lighter during the day. Often if people don't eat breakfast or lunch, they think, well, I can go wild, and then they'll consume even more than they might do.
I've definitely made that mistake. And then you get starving hungry and you're eating absolutely everything. And then do you think even if I can just get a 20-minute workout in, is that worth it, or do I just not bother?
Perfect, because it will set you up with a really healthy mindset to start the day. If you do that workout, you will be feeling healthy and motivated and far less likely to really go wild.
Well, let's see if we can put those words into practice,
Good luck.
Laura. Thank you so much for coming. That's all we have, guys. Hopefully you can stay on track this Thanksgiving. Back to you.
Those are some good tips, but I doubt I'll probably follow some of those. University of Buffalo is doing a study that proves millennials are more addicted to their phones than we thought. After conducting this study, they found out that kids would rather be on their phone than actually eat food. Smartphone addiction being talked about as a real diagnosis after this study is being thrown around in the same conversation as alcoholism. Remember the days where you had to wait until your baby was born to know the gender? Well, that is a thing of the past, and we now celebrate and throw parties to find what gender the baby is going to be. We go to Raquel Herrera for more.
Gender reveal parties are the new trend that have become very popular in the last couple of years. There are so many different ideas of how you can do it. You can go small or you can go big. Let's go to Jackie Gandar to swing away.
Do a gender reveal so that we can find out the gender of our baby with all our family and our friends, and I just thought it was going to be a lot more fun than just to do it like an ultrasound. It's because both of us play golf and I saw it online, somebody do it, and I just thought that would be a great way to reflect us and be a fun way to do it. I definitely felt more prepared. Once we had our baby shower, we got everything we needed, outfits, stuff for her room, so everything. I definitely felt more at ease because I just felt like I knew what was coming and I was able to prepare in every way possible.
We know what Jackie wanted to do before she had her baby. Let's go to Frances, an expecting mother of 3 months who is hoping to do her gender reveal party soon.
I would like to have a gender reveal party because I like the attention of people, and I think having a gender reveal makes everyone excited, including me and my boyfriend. So having this excitement of not knowing what the gender is yet will just make it a lot better in the moment. I'm hoping for a boy because I think it'd be a lot easier to take care of a boy, because me being a girl with my mom, I was so much of a hassle, and still to this day I still am.
We will keep our fingers crossed for you and hope you have a healthy baby. In San Francisco, I'm Raquel Herrera with Urban Nights Update.
You see how fun those parties look? I doubt anyone is going to go back to the traditional way.
Kevin Durant's latest problem is not with his teammates, but with the fans. Monday night, a Dallas Maverick fan called Durant a cupcake, and KD had a few choice words to say back to him. Being recorded on the baseline, they were able to slow down the video and see pretty clearly what he said to that fan. The upshot? The NBA has fined him $25,000 after he was caught on film cussing at the Maverick fan. We have great news from the ArtU sports teams, with a few seasons coming to a close and many more opening up. Arun Palacio joins us with more.
Hello everybody, today we have another week filled with our very own ArtU sports teams on their pursuit of greatness. The men's and women's cross country team came back from Division II regionals with some outstanding performances. Volleyball season just came to a close, with the team having a few honorable mentions from the Pac West committee. The men's and women's basketball season are in full swing. Let's get right into it. With the fall season coming to a close, bringing in winter also means that indoor track and field season is set to begin very shortly, with the ArtU track and field team walking away with 10 All-Americans last year at the Indoor National Championship and the men's and the women's side. Though we had to say goodbye to a couple faces last year, we also have a couple new faces with exceptional talent. The track and field team is set to have their first meet in Colorado Springs December 6th through the 8th and is looking to take home the national championship this year. The women's volleyball team had a rough year, with their record being 1-29, but that didn't stop them from working hard. The women's volleyball team had a hard-fought-for season, with continuous losses, which they lost just by a hair on my chinny chin chin. These girls truly showed their strength as a team to keep the whole team together and make sure each girl on the team didn't lose that fighting spirit. The volleyball season is seeing us lose a couple of seniors, such as Lindsay Milner and Safua Elisa. These girls have to work hard to keep their team together, and they will truly be missed when they leave the Urban Knights. With the men's and women's basketball team both in full swing, with the women's having a couple more games under their belt. Coming off a career-high game, sophomore guard Stefan Milivojevic once again led the Urban Knights in scoring. Though ArtU dropped their home opener 79-74 to the Cal State East Bay Pioneers, this is a good sign to what to expect from the Knights once they work the kinks out and get that team chemistry down packed. You best believe the Urban Knights will be a high-scoring team throughout the season. We hope to see them become the conference champs and see them in the NCAA Division II championship. Due to continuous hazardous air quality caused by the wildfires in the Chico area, this weekend's women's basketball game between Academy of Art and Chico State has officially been canceled and will be played at a later date. An impressive collegiate debut week led Academy of Arts women's basketball guard Chanel Stewart to be named the Pac West Co-Freshman of the Week in this year's first release of weekly awards. The award is based on games between November 1st through the 11th. Was waiting for the results to see who made it to the Division II National Championship. Cross-country meet comes with great performances all around from the whole team. Though the team got a little surprised by the weather, it didn't stop them from working hard. The cross-country season has been a long and grueling one, with the team running for 4 months and going right into the track and field season. The season may not be over so soon. Currently, the team is waiting to see if any of the team members made it to the national championship meet. With the passing of regionals came with the women's team placing 11th overall, so did the men's. Those placings should yield 1 or 2 people making it to national meet. A little snow surprised the Knights. That did not stop the Knights from pushing on and working hard. That's all we have today for ArtU Sports. I'm Arun Palacio for Urban Knights Update. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Arun. Now let's switch gears and get the latest news and entertainment with Tamara Jaber.
Welcome to December, everyone. The time of year movie studios unleash their fury on theaters like never before. December gives summer blockbusters a run for their money with big-time crowd pleasers, starting with the dramatic Queen of Scots, starring Margot Robbie and Saoirse Ronan. The two play dueling sisters who attempt to stake claim to the English throne. Let's just say that more than wigs get snatched at the end of it.
Mary Stuart is condemned to death by order of our Sovereign Elizabeth, Queen of England.
How did it come to this?
There is news. King Francis is dead. Your cousin Mary has returned to rule in Scotland. She is formidable, madam.
So, she comes ready for war.
Not so. I may command armies, but tell my cousin that we pray for peace. I hope we might meet in person and resolve our destinies.
You must confront the truth, madam. She has acclaimed your throne.
You would have me depose the sister monarch.
It is either civil war there or civil war here.
We have a scourge upon our land. A woman with a crown.
What says her brother?
His allegiance is fully with us.
There is no appetite for war. And let us stir an appetite.
How cruel men are. All I have done is try to unify this land. But they're trying to usurp my crown. A murderer, a traitor, and a queen.
Get ready for the feel-good movie of the year with Mary Poppins Returns. Emily Blunt is centre stage as the incomparable Mary Poppins, out December 19. Now, that's big shoes to fill from Julie Andrews' run as the bank's children's caretaker. Take a listen to Blunt singing in the trailer. She makes it seem like she can handle the job.
Mary Poppins, you came back. I've come to look after the bank's children.
Us?
Oh, yes, you too, about that.
No, not yet. Some people like to splash and play. Can you imagine that?
How did she do that?
One thing you should know about Mary Poppins, she never explains anything.
Perhaps we've learnt when day is done, some stuff and nonsense could be fun.
Everything is possible. Even the impossible.
Are you sure this is quite safe?
Not in the slightest. Ready?
Other movies to look out for: Vox Lux, starring Natalie Portman in a crazy story as a pop star, out December 14. And rounding the year up, December 25, The Basis of Sex, the story of Supreme Justice Court Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how she took on gender discrimination. Well, that's your December holiday movie wrap-up. Back to you.
Thanks, Tamara. Lots to look forward to. The holidays may be the most wonderful time of year, but can also be the most stressful. While some allow Black Friday and Cyber Monday to give them a head start on Christmas shopping, others have their own timetable, which leads us to the question of the week.
Usually about 6 hours.
Same week. I usually start my Christmas shopping around Thanksgiving.
Usually like 3 weeks before Christmas, online shopping mostly.
I usually don't start until the week of Thanksgiving. That's when I have vacation, so that's when I can actually go out and shop. So I wait till then.
Well, the last peaceful week of this year. That wraps up this edition of Urban Nights Update.
For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Ackerman.
And I'm Brendan Otero. See you back next week and have a great Thanksgiving holiday weekend.